The following production is brought to you by the Talkin' Buds Leaf Show.
Here we go. Talkin' Buds Leaf Show. These episodes have become a yearly tradition for us. So if you don't mind, I'd like to take the floor off the top and do what I do.
It's usually how it goes.
Every year.
Yeah, go for it.
At this time.
Yep.
I'm actually taking solace in what we just watched because all along, those of us with two eyes and a functioning brain looked at this team and said, this isn't going to work. The core, the DNA of this team is flawed. The culture is flawed. There's a lot of issues here. They go on, they have spurts of success where they do well. They get through the first round this year. They go up 2-0 in this series. They push it to 7 games. And you start thinking, like, deep down, I know that this is flawed. But there is a lot of talent here. So maybe they can do it. Maybe they can push through and make it to an Eastern Conference final. I really don't want to spend any time on this episode tonight talking about that hockey game. I think it's a complete waste of time for us to come on here and go, to have an opportunity. Exactly.
I have one comment about that game, but I'll get to it later.
To come on here and to do the usual, you had an opportunity to change the narrative and to come out and play like that is just a complete and utter waste of fucking time. Coming away from that game, that performance and these results rest solely on the 6 guys I'm about to name. Brendan Shanahan, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, who we're going to talk about quite a bit on this episode, is getting booed by the fans tonight. John Tavares, William Nylander, and Morgan Riley. That is who this falls at the feet of. And that is who should be addressed in this offseason. And that is where you look to make serious changes. I'm not saying you jettison all 5. That is not what I'm saying. I want to be perfectly clear. Austin Matthews is signed. William Nylander is signed. They're not going anywhere. But I do think you take a look at the other 4 names on that list and you think long and hard about moving on from all 4 of them. One of them I think is going to move on his own. So that'll take care of that. But there's just so many things I want to say. And I would say to you right now, the person that I am the most angry at as we sit here tonight is Brendan Shanahan, without question.
Yeah, 100%. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you. We can get into all that talk right now if you want. I don't know if that's where you want to go. This series had the same issue that every single series they've ever lost had. I mean, going into this series, I said that I wouldn't be disappointed if they lost because I knew Florida was a better team. And I honestly think Florida's a better team and they lost to a better team. That doesn't excuse the absolute pathetic effort they put forward tonight. But if you look at this series in a vacuum and just analyze it on its own, pretty good series. They fought hard. They lost to a better team. I wish I saw something better in that game 7. That was embarrassing.
They had a massive opportunity that they blew in game 3.
Dude, I
couldn't recover.
Before we really move on to the negativity, I thought they could have won that game. I thought they got caved for 10 minutes. And then they started kind of finding their legs and they got a bunch of opportunities. They killed that penalty at the end of the first period. The second period starts. The building's on fire and Buddy gets high sticked in the face. And that was it. And then all the momentum got let out of that building. All their momentum was gone. Their legs were gone. And as soon as they had to score first to win that hockey game. And I said, if they did not score first, they were going to lose that game. And once that goal went in, it was over. And yeah, I mean, you can look at it and be like, oh, they lost to, this is the problem with every series. Oh, they lost to the team that went to the cup final. There's always an excuse. So in a vacuum, yeah, it was a good series. They fought hard. They lost to a really good team, but it's just the pile up of all the results in the past. You just can't let it go. You can't excuse anybody. So that's why it's hard to come on here and say anything about that game, because it really doesn't matter. It's just a compound of failures, and it's just, you can't get by it. You really can't.
This is what I mean when I say that I'm upset right now with Brendan Shanahan, because yes, they had that stretch in the latter half of the first period where they did find their legs. But for the most part, they came out to start this game, and I thought they looked absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
And what happens when you consistently run things back, it creates two problems. First one is lack of accountability. There is no accountability in this organization. These guys don't take any accountability. They don't feel accountability. They don't need to. They're not held accountable by the organization. When you fail year in and year out, as much as these guys fail, normally a serious organization that takes itself seriously and is trying to win a Stanley Cup starts moving pieces around and doesn't just say, well, we've found something here that is going to guarantee us a playoff spot, and we're going to have pretty good regular season, so let's just stick with it and hope like hell that it works. The second problem that it creates is these guys, you sent me the graphic today on Instagram of all the game sevens that they've lost. That has a cumulative effect, and it does mental damage. And these guys have baggage that they carry with them, and they look fucking terrified. They started that game tonight terrified. That was just another game for the Florida Panthers. That was just another game. They just went out and were just played Florida Panther hockey and whooped their opponent's ass. And they're headed to their third straight Eastern Conference final against a team that I think they're going to fucking run through. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have a Stanley Cup rematch this year, but that's neither here nor there. You have to have the courage and the stones to make the changes necessary. Mitch Marner. The clip going around of Mitch Marner ripping into his teammates after they went down 3-0. You have brought precisely 0% intensity to this series. 0. You've been a non-factor except for a lucky goal you got in game 2. You've been a non-factor. You're 1 foot out the door. Everyone knows it. You're playing like it. And now you've got the balls to look at your teammates and say, wake the fuck up. This guy, get this guy out of this organization as soon as you possibly can. Get him out. I am very much looking forward to never watching Mitch Marner play another shift in a Maple Leaf uniform ever again.
Yeah, just, I don't know, kind of a waste of a good hockey player, if you ask me.
The story of Mitch Marner, Ryan, is a Maple Leaf tragedy. This is a homegrown kid from the area who was drafted by the team, had all the makings, should be going down in history as one of the most beloved Toronto Maple Leafs at all time, of all time, excuse me. And all this guy did was squeeze every last penny he possibly could out of the organization, never show up in the big moments ever, and not take accountability for doing that. It's so over for Mitch Marner.
Yeah. It's just he did nothing for such a long period of time, but I'm sorry. I'm laying that on the captain too, man. Like he deserves the exact same amount of criticism as Mitch Marner does, in my opinion. He's awful. He's useless.
It's so
William Nylander was terrible tonight too. Like,
I
I know it's such low hanging fruit to go after Mitch Marner, and I totally get it. But I honestly feel a little icky not including everyone else in that conversation too.
Oh, no, all 6 of those names that I named off the top.
Yeah.
Matthews, awful.
Was Austin
Tavares,
Matthews on the ice tonight?
Yeah, awful.
I didn't see him.
Tavares. John Tavares struggled he had a good game in game 3, but he really got exposed for having 0 foot speed in this series. William Nylander looked disinterested for large chunks of these 7 games. That dude has no interest in playing in his own end. None. And Morgan Riley, oh my God, is that guy washed?
Yeah. It's just making me rethink everything. If I'm Brad Treliving, I'm going to John Tavares in the offseason. I'm going, here's $850,000. If you don't want it, see you later.
I'm not even, no, I see, Ryan, I'm at a point where I think it is so important to change the problem with this team is what I said off the top. It's core, its DNA is flawed. There's so much baggage here. There's been so much failure. There's been so much lack of accountability. I'm looking at John Tavares and I'm saying, John, thank you so much for coming home. We really appreciate it. We're going to move on and we're going to go and look to allocate our dollars elsewhere and really change the makeup and DNA of this team. And when you decide to call it a career, come on back. We'll give you an alumni jacket and you can make appearances at Sports Check all the live long day for us. Like no, thank you, John. No, thank you. Like, and he had a good year. I have nothing against John Tavares as a guy. Nothing. Perfectly good dude. Like, but it's just, you have an opportunity here to really sever ties and really remake the DNA. Fucking take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
And it's just who's up. Like, I wonder what the situation would be like if it was Marner signed and not Nylander. And if it was Nylander,
I think it would be,
would it be the same thing?
Yes, I think if or Ryan, if it was Marner signed and not Matthews, I think you'd be having a serious conversation right now about, like, just let him walk. Like, it's this mix of guys.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there's certain things about Mitch Marner that are very, very unlikable. Hence the rant I just went on. But at the end of the day, like, if he's sitting here right now and he's signed to an 8-year extension and Matthews is the one who wants to test free agency, I think a lot of people after this would be saying, see ya. Like, I honestly feel that way. But he's signed. Nylander is signed. They're a part of your core. Like, those are the two guys that I think are staying. And then it's up to you to bring in a new sort of nucleus to attach themselves to those guys that doesn't have the baggage.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to win a game 7 with this group. It's never happening.
No. If they bring this group back next year, I honestly think the fan base is just going to be completely tuned out and gone. And it's just no way. There's no way. Especially, that's why I was kind of happy they got blown out near the end there. Like, Domi got the goal, and I'm like, oh, now the building's going to get into it, and they're going to be happy for the rest of the period, trying to will them on to another goal. But just to keep sticking the dagger in and really driving it home, like, you are getting embarrassed on home ice in Game 7. You are, you're getting booed by your fan base. People are leaving the building with 10 minutes left. If you're not going to Brendan Shanahan right now and telling him to not pack his office, then I don't know what the hell you're doing.
It's his fault, man. I'm sorry. Like, what happened? I'll never forgive him for what he did after Kyle Dubas left. I'll never forgive him. He just took those 4 guys off the hook. He just phoned them and said, we're not moving on from you, and completely cut Treliving's balls off before he even took the job. Yeah. And then Marner still was in a situation where he had a long period of time before his no move kicked in, and Brendan Shanahan was not going to allow Brad Treliving to trade him. Like, I'm sorry.
If I had to sum up this era in 2 words, it would be wasted time. Like, just a waste of time. Just went on for way too long. And it's just, this was a series that would have been great 4 years ago. But it's so far gone. Everything's so far gone. It's so ugly. It's just, if they bring, I don't know what they're going to do, but all I know is they need to make serious changes, and they need to do it fast. And that starts with going to the president's office and going,
see ya, Brendan.
Yeah.
Like, thanks for changing the logo.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, you and I talked about it. It's like you look at the way the Florida Panthers play. You look at the way their salary cap is distributed. You look at the Leafs. You said it last episode or the one before or whatever it was. GMs across the league now can look at this and go, yeah, that doesn't work. Like you can't commit so much money to 4 guys and not be able to go and get a decent player at $5 million to plug into the bottom of your lineup, $6 million. That's how you have to build a team.
Or it's you have to have a better eye for what guy is actually worth the money. Like the 2 guys in Edmonton are going to get all the money in the world because they show up. It's just, it doesn't work because your depth isn't good. So your top guys need to produce. And when they don't produce, you don't win.
You're fucked.
That's the problem. It's like we pay you guys to produce, but you don't produce. So,
and like I said earlier, when you run it back over and over and over again, it has a cumulative effect, and there's mental baggage. These guys have mental baggage here.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the only way you can explain coming out in a game 7 and playing the way they played. They looked absolute, and that permeates through the whole team. It permeates through your entire lineup, and it's like, yes, to start the first 10 minutes, the whole team was brutal, but it's your best players that set that tone for you. You and I were talking about the Oilers last episode. How the fuck does John Klingberg all of a sudden go there and turn into a GOAT? How does Kasperi Kapanen get an OT winner? Because when you put that sweater on, the nucleus and the DNA of the team sets a standard, and you have to play to that standard, or it's not going to work. That's not what exists here. The NBA 82-game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, and it's time for all the high-stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw-dropping plays.
I can't wait. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40, or more? It's your call.
Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
I just think they're going to go down as the most mentally weak group of all time. They got caved in the first 10 minutes, but I expected that. You had to weather a storm against this team. I didn't expect it to be like 21-0 in shot attempts, but they were going to get dummied at some point early in this game, and they had to weather that storm. Then they come back, they start moving around, but it's just, they had to get that first goal, because once they gave up that first one, they're just too weak. They don't have what it takes. They don't have that, like you said, they don't have that dog in them. They don't.
No.
There's no fight. There's no passion. It's just they give up a goal, and it's just like, that was it. Okay, we're done. We quit. And then they get caved for the next 10 minutes. It's really crazy when you go back and analyze all these game 7s and all these series deciding games, how weak mentally they are. And it shows in the record in game 7 too. You don't go 0 for 7 in game 7s being strong mentally. You don't.
This is what I'm saying, man. Like, this is what it's just a cumulative effect. And
there's not much to say. Like, there's really it's just like they just need to make changes. Like, we are again having the exact same conversation we've had for the past 8 years. Like, it's just
and for the first time, Ryan, like they have a real opportunity here. Like, Marner's up, Tavares is up, the salary cap is going way up. Like you have a real opportunity here. There's Brad Marchand is available. Sam Bennett is available. There's guys available. Like, you have an opportunity, a real opportunity to change the DNA of this team without doing like a full scale scorched earth. Like, you're still going to have Matthews, still going to have Nylander, still going to have Stolars, still going to have the D core for the most part. I'd like to see them move on from Riley, but there's still pieces here that are going to make you like a top team in the Atlantic. This is such a unique opportunity here. And I think one of the reasons why they run it back over and over again, it's the downside of corporate ownership. Like it's you look at it as though it's a line of business, and this team is a lock to make the playoffs every year. So we can't move on from a Mitch Marner, because what if that hurts us? And what if we don't make the playoffs? And what are the business ramifications of that? And I'm not sitting here saying that having a human being as an owner is great. Like, look at the Harold Ballard years. Like, look at how everyone feels about Jerry Jones these days. Like it's not all it's cracked up to be. But you, at least if you have a human being, they would look at this and go, all right, enough. Let's make a change. Who would look at Brendan Shanahan and go, you're fired. Get out of here.
Look at the lunatic down in Vegas.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll have a fire sale this offseason.
Savagery. Like, that's how you win, man. That's how you win. You have to go for it. You have to take chances, and you have to recognize when something isn't working and make a change and make an adjustment. And they didn't do it. You get what you get, and now you have a chance to do it and make it happen.
I think Brendan Shanahan he really just he just decided he was going to believe in these guys. Full stop, no matter what. And I honestly think he thinks that they were going to get it done at some point, and he was just gonna bully it through, that these are the guys and they're gonna get it done for us. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
No, and I also think he got swallowed up by the MLSE culture a little bit, and I think it becomes about the business and financial success, and I think that's a reality of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment owning the team. That's just a reality, and you need someone in there that's going to challenge the status quo and push back and say, yes, but think of the business success if we actually got to the fucking Stanley Cup final instead of making it to the playoffs every year and fizzling out.
I just don't buy that ownership would have a problem moving on from Mitch Marner. I don't know. I understand that you want to be competitive and like you want to make the playoffs and everything, but I just don't. I think Brendan Shanahan he loves Mitch Marner. Like, he's obsessed with him.
Yeah, he's like a son to him.
Yeah, he is a father to all these guys. He loves them so much and believed in them so much, and
what did they do? They let him down at every fucking turn.
And they laid it out all on the line for him.
Lay it on the line.
And they just couldn't do it. Like, they just weren't able to do it. They couldn't do it. I don't know. I think this conversation would be more fun if we just like really did a whole retrospective.
Well, because
this conversation doesn't. I don't want to talk about 2025 because I don't think 2025 is the problem. The problem goes all the way back, baby. All the way back.
So spoiler alert. Ryan and I this season are not going to go away like we've done in previous years. We're going to commit to doing one. Obviously, after tonight, we're going to wait and do our usual clean out, our show after they do the locker clean out and we hear from management and all that stuff. And then we're going to stick to doing one episode a week till we get to free agency. And I'm fully anticipating Brendan Shanahan does at some point get shown the door. And I've been thinking about this going, when that happens, we are going to do an episode where we go through the entire Brendan Shanahan era. Yeah. And we just look at it as like in a retrospective type way. And if what we all think happens on July 1 happens, where Mitch Marner signs with another team, we're going to do that with him too. Because like I said, man, this story of Mitch Marner it's unbelievable. Like this, all the makings were here for him to go down as one of, if not the most beloved Toronto Maple Leaf of all time. And it went in the complete opposite direction for a multitude of reasons. And it's just a fascinating thing to sit and talk about.
That's what this is what this whole era is about. I mean,
Yep.
you grabbed all the pieces that looked similar to teams in the past that sucked and got good players, and then they grew as a group. And if you would have said back in 2016, like, you would have had high hopes for what was coming in the future. Then you fast forward almost 10 years later, and it just didn't work. As simple as that. It just didn't work. Brendan Shanahan had handpicked a group of individuals, players and management alike, and full on put his eggs in all their baskets and went all in on all of them. And he made the wrong choice pretty much every single time. So
Yep.
To me, that's what this era is about.
Yep.
And it's wasted time. It's wasted time. Now you're looking at key players, core players who are looking at 30 years of age.
Mhm.
Like all these
they're
years you
veteran
had
guys,
in
man.
your prime to build something with everyone. It just passed you by. It just really just passed you by, and it's gone. And and you didn't see it. You didn't get anything out of it.
Austin
This is a
Matthews.
tough episode to do.
Austin Matthews said the Leafs had too many passengers in Game 7, and Mitch Marner later agreed. It's like, God, these guys are fucking terrible at PR.
Passengers.
Holy shit, are they
It's
terrible?
like you guys you gave up after you gave up the first goal. You were done.
Mhm.
You were finished. You quit.
Yep. And
They got smoked tonight. They got dummied. Like
Can I say one more thing? One more thing before we get out of here. Anyone who goes into hero mode about fans booing and fans shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you pay a fucking fortune to go down there. You can do whatever the hell you want, especially when you're subjected to watching that bullshit. This is another problem too with the Brendan Shanahan culture. The fucking insulating these guys. And you're not responsible for 1967. And this is a tough market to play in. No, but you are responsible for the crap you guys put in and year out in the playoffs.
You're responsible for the absolute atrocious statistics you put up in the postseason.
Yes.
Just brutal.
That's you. That's you, fellas.
Yeah.
All right.
You were the passengers.
I know.
Scotty Lawton was at that fourth line, did everything they possibly could to get that team going.
I know.
And you guys did nothing.
I know. The audacity of these guys. Yeah, Matthews on Marner. He's like a brother to me and all of us. Oh my fucking God, man. Yeah. Here we go. We love each other. Yeah, I can't. We got to sign off. I'm just getting more and more angry reading
that's another ripple effect too of this whole thing. It's just that's like I said a couple episodes ago, that's the guy he's tied to, man. So it's going to have a ripple effect down to him too. He might not be a very happy boy.
I don't care. Care. You give me one good reason why you should keep doing this. Give me one. You can't do it.
Why did we get stuck with these like cast of characters?
I know.
Just the right players, like the right players with the right skill sets, but just the wrong guys.
Leaf fans are the most tortured fan base in all of pro sports. I don't want to hear about the Cowboys or the Bills or anyone. No. We are in a league of our own when it comes to tortured fan bases.
Yeah. Depends how you.
All right, buddy. All right, buddy. Let's get out of here. Like I said, we'll be back at some point this week. We'll find out in the coming days when they're going to do locker clean out and do the whole management press conference and all this stuff. So we'll be back after that. And like I said earlier, Ryan and I are going to continue to do one episode a week right up until free agency. And then after that, we'll take the summer off. Normally in past years, we've kind of dipped when the Leafs season was over, but we're not going to do that. We have like lots of good engagement, subscribers. Everybody's been amazing. So we can hang around, do one a week, just talk the latest around the NHL, talk about the Leafs, all kinds of stuff. If you'd like to join us for that, hit the like and subscribe button below. If you're listening to the audio version, please do the same.
Spread the word, tell your friends.
We really appreciate it. We will see you guys in a couple of days.